What's up, everybody? It's Big L here again today, and today we're going to be uncut, unscripted, all real for you today. I have made it to round 3 of the Real Commentator March Madness, and I figure a special moment for me, so I'm going to talk about something today to kind of help you guys out, which is the reason for a Zombies gameplay. Just that way I know it's something long and I'll have enough time to hopefully get my point across and my views personally. You know, this is just my personal opinion on stuff that I would go back and do if I had the opportunity to. So the first thing I want to talk about is I'm sure majority of the people that watch my videos are between the age group of, I'm going to say, 14 and 20 years old. Okay, and I myself am 21 years old, and I had, I guess, what you can call a rough childhood. You know, I grew up not rich, but wasn't dirt poor either, you know, so I was lower middle class. And one of the things that my parents always told me was, well, Alan, you need to get a job and you need to save your money up for when you get older, so that way you can go out and do nice stuff and la-da-da-da-da. You know, and you never listen to your parents, because I'm sure that everybody watching this video here today has heard that same exact thing from their parents. And the other thing that they always told me was, Alan, you need to pay attention when you're in school. You know, you don't need to be failing and all that other stuff. And the game really lagged really bad right there. I don't know what was going on. And but anyway, but you know, she was like, well, just pay attention in school, keep your grades up, and you know, we don't listen. We're 15 years old, you know. That's the last thing we want to hear. But growing up, and when I was in high school, I didn't have a job. I did make an allowance. It wasn't a whole lot, you know. I didn't get a car. I got my first car when I was 17 or 18. And then, let's see, I got my first cell phone when I was 16. And yeah, and I mean, it's just silly stuff like that. And the main reason why was because of the fact that I didn't have a job, because I didn't listen to my parents when they told me to go out and find one. So the only way I was getting my money was, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, was selling drugs. I mean, I'm sure I know not everyone uses drugs, whether it be marijuana, coke, or whatever you out there fucking with. That's on you. I mean, when I was young, well, I still am young, but when I was younger, I had my experiences with it, you know. And it's definitely not the best place for somebody, especially a young kid. And you know, and that's not the proper way to make money. You know, you want to go out and get a job and earn everything legal, because in the long run, if that's what you're doing to make your income, you're not going to get very far in life. I hate to break the news to you. It might seem like you're doing real good, but in the long run, you're going to end up in jail. You're going to end up dead. I mean, those are the only two options for you doing that, you know. And anyway, moving off of that subject, that topic, my dad was alcoholic, and I mean, I can go on and on and on about stories. And if that's something, I mean, if y'all want me to keep this little thing going, you know, just tell you about my childhood, maybe it might be experiences that you're living yourself, you know, whether it be death. I had both my grandparents, whom I basically lived with every other week, because my parents are divorced. My parents divorced when I was 7 years old, and then my grandparents died 2 years apart, you know. So I mean, like I said, I had it rough growing up, you know, and it was definitely hard getting through it, because I was the oldest of, well, really it was just me and my brother, and then I have a stepsister that came along, but I was 16 when that happened. So I mean, if y'all want to hear these stories, you know, just leave either a thumbs up or a comment just saying, you know, because I mean, and like I said, if you don't want people to know who you are or whatever, just leave a like. You know, if I see it gets quite a few likes, then I'll go ahead and keep the series going, and maybe I might help you out with some situations that you're having with your own family. But back to the main subject of story, I get carried away quite a bit. Sorry. But your parents tell you, get a job, stay in school, graduate, get your house, live your life. I didn't do any of that. I slept in school, didn't get a job until I was 17. I didn't save my money, and now I'm living paycheck to paycheck. But don't get me wrong, I mean, I am living good. I'm not going broke, nothing like that. But I could be living better, I could have thousands of dollars saved up in the bank, and have money to buy like all this extra shit that I want, But I just don't have that money because I never saved. So my recommendation to you guys would be, if you're young, even if you're not, you could be 40 years old and this might be helping you out. But what you want to do, you want to get you a job, whether it be McDonald's or, just fast food or anything, I mean, fuck, go get a job throwing newspapers, as long as you're out there working. And then for those of you who do have good jobs, whether you're 17 or 18 or, working at Walmart, if you're still living at home with your parents, save your money, whether it be $5, $10 a paycheck. Because that's what my parents always told me, and I never listened to them. And, now I have no money in the savings account that I could use to buy extra shit that I want. So, I mean, in $10 a paycheck, if you're making minimum wage and working 20 hours a week, you can afford $5 to $10 a paycheck just to put in the savings account and leave it in there. Don't touch it, don't fuck with it, just leave it in there like it don't exist really. And by the time you're 22, ready to move out or go to college or whatnot, you're gonna have quite a bit of money saved up, and you're gonna have extra play money where you can go out on the weekends and party and whatever you want to do, as long as you're of age. I do not condone underage drinking. I'm not going to say that I haven't done it before, but I don't condone it. Just because I have been busted plenty of times too for it, and that's not fun. That's not something that your parents want to get a phone call 3 o'clock in the morning because you're drinking and you're underage. But anyway, save your money. Like I said, whether it's a little part-time job where you ain't working, but 2 days a week, just take a little bit out that paycheck. Because after you graduate high school, I'm gonna tell you what I did. I graduated. I lived with my grandparents for another year after I graduated, and I moved in with my girlfriend. And like I said, I don't have, our paychecks go towards bills, and we go out and do a few things during the week, well, not the week, but the weekend, but not stuff like we would want to go do, like take trips out of town and all that shit because of the fact that we got bills to pay, but when you're young and you're saving that money because you don't have those bills to pay at that point in time because you're still living with your parents, you could be saving that money up. And you don't have, like I said, you don't have anything to put it towards, such as bills, car notes, cell phone bills. Well, I guess you do have cell phone bills because kids are, you're probably about 14 years old now with cell phones, which, I mean, that's fine and dandy, But just save your money and put it in the savings account. So that way when you're 22 living by yourself or with your girlfriend or whatnot, you're not just sitting there with no money sitting at home all day. So that way you got your extra play money, you can go out on the weekends and all that stuff. So what your parents do tell you is true, whether you want to hear it or not. It is completely 120% truth, legit. I've lived it, I've experienced it, I'm still experiencing it. I regret it every day of my life that I didn't put like even $1 a paycheck in my savings account. So keep that in consideration, like I said, go get a job. It don't matter what you're doing. And I know people that work at McDonald's for a living. That's how they make their living, and they're really not living off all that bad. And so think about it. If you're 14 and you're living at home with your parents still, or what's the legal working age now? I think it's 15 or 16. you're still going to be living with your parents. So any income that you're getting is money for you to spend. It doesn't have a set place to go. So just go ahead and keep that money and throw it in your pocket or throw it in a savings account. Just make sure you hold on to it and don't spend it on silly shit, because I can't tell you how much money I've wasted on stuff that I can't even remember from when I was younger, And like I said, I got plenty of stories I could tell you guys. I can go on. I could probably make a 10 episode series about my childhood and growing up between my parents' divorce and my alcoholic dad. So if you guys want to hear it, just let me know and like the video if you want, and I'll keep it going for y'all. So until next time, guys, it's GGC Beast, and I'm out.